Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce someone that I completely despise, and I hope you find him as annoying as I do every day. So, without further ado, here he is, that big moron, Brittles. Take it, buddy. Oh my God, this is gonna be horrible.
Transitioning. Don't turn off the microphone. Don't turn off the microphone. Rule number 1. Thank you, Brittles. So, tonight we went and we saw Infinity War. With just about every friggin' superhero we could possibly imagine from the Marvel Universe that's allowed to be in Marvel Comics movies, because Marvel Comics is not allowed to use X-Men or the Fantastic Four right now, but they will in the future. But anyway, Infinity War. Finally, after I grew up on Marvel Comics. I grew up on Marvel Comics. Now I'm going to grow old on Marvel Comics. But we grew up on this stuff, and in Marvel Comics, in these Marvel comic universe, superhero universes, the superheroes interact. They deal with each other. They do things together. Spider-Man makes quips, and Doctor Strange does goofy shit, and then Tony Stark's an arrogant asshole. And it's a wonderful thing. But what's not a wonderful thing when I was a young lad, when I was a young kid, is that they would make these movies, these superhero movies. They would use Batman and shit and Spider-Man. They would only exist by themselves in the universe. So if you made a Batman movie, Batman didn't interact with Superman. He didn't interact with Wonder Woman. He didn't interact with the Flash, Green Arrow, nobody. Batman was all by himself. So we used to get these movies by like Tim Burton and all these fantastic, amazing directors. But they sucked. As Star-Lord would say in the Marvel Universe, they sucked. Why? Because they existed only by themselves. So Batman was all by himself in Gotham, and he'd get his supervillain. Oh my God, the Batman movies when I was a kid. They just kept getting progressively worse and worse and worse until we finally had Arnold Schwarzenegger, as far away from possible, being the Iceman, or Mr. Freeze, actually, in the Batman universe. And it was horrible. And Jim Carrey was the Riddler, and it was always about a big-name star being in a movie. And it was like, this is garbage, man. And it finally got to the point where it got so stupid that Robin had nipples in his suit, and it was a horrible, horrible thing. Then we had Spider-Man. Spider-Man came along. Everybody was like, Spider-Man's going to be a movie, man. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see Spider-Man. Finally, at last, the wall crawler, the web slinger's going to be out there. It's going to be amazing. And we got Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire. If you're familiar with the Hunger Games movies, you're familiar with, of course, Jennifer Lawrence. She was fun in that. I love watching her. But you know why? Because she always had that dour look on her face like, dystopia sucks. Which makes sense. Unfortunately, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man was not funny. He didn't make any quips. He didn't say shit. Because half of what Spider-Man did when he was doing Spider-Man shit was talk shit. Ask Samuel L. Jackson. He don't know about talking shit. Spider-Man didn't talk shit. This sucked. Oh my God. Then they had the Applehead girl as his girlfriend. It was like, this is horrible. Why are they doing this to Spider-Man? And then to just add insult to injury again. Spider-Man existed only by himself in the universe. So it was fucking stupid. You had this teenage dude who was running around flipping off buildings and shit, and it was all by himself. Could you imagine if it was the only person in the world who could do this shit? It was one person. He'd be on TV, he'd be on America's fucking Funniest Home, whatever the fucking video is, and he'd be making money like that. Stupid shit. And then we got the X-Men movies. And the X-Men movies were dark. And they also existed in their own universe. But of course, in this universe, there is nobody else. There is only mutants. The mutants existed here. There was no other superhero. So everything had to exist in its own little pocket. It sucked because there's so many interactions. You're reading these comic books, you're reading, and you're laughing, and you're like, this is funny shit, this is great, man. If they could put all these characters together in a fucking movie, they'd be pretty money. But no, nobody ever came along and did that until Marvel. Marvel came along, on the balls of their ass. They go, we're going to go bankrupt anyhow. Fuck it. Let's make a movie. We'll get Robert Downey Jr. Holy shit. Brilliant fucking casting, because if anybody could play fucking Iron Man, Tony Stark, the drunk guy who's wasted his fucking life, it's that dude right there, Robert Downey Jr. Because I remember watching Robert Downey Jr. in a video in front of a judge, and the judge is handing him the riot act, man. Blah, 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 blah. Get your life together, get your shit into this Robert Downey Jr. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say. You could do whatever you want, throw the book at me, but until I decide that I'm not going to do this shit anymore, I'm still going to be doing it. So do whatever the fuck you want. And I was like, man, that motherfucker's Tony Stark right there. So the minute I saw fucking Iron Man, I was like, well, this is going to suck too. Why? Because I didn't realize at that point that the fucking Marvel Studios was going to say, you know what, we're gonna start interlocking all these little movies together, and eventually they're going to come and people are going to meet each other. Iron Man's going to meet other people. So I was like, Iron Man's going to suck. It's going to be just like Batman. Iron Man by himself is a fucking billionaire genius, but he's going to become a good guy all by himself. So I waited out on Iron Man. I didn't watch Iron Man when it first came out. I was like, I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of the Batmans and the Supermans by themselves. This is garbage. And then I read about Iron Man. I was like, well, what's this? At the end of Iron Man, Samuel L. Jackson comes out as Nick Fury. Nick Fury. I was like, no shit, man. They just changed Nick Fury to a black dude in the Marvel Comics in the Ultimate Universe. I was like, that's pretty cool. He looks like this dude too. That's weird. And I found out later on, of course, they did that on purpose because they wanted Samuel L. Jackson to be Nick Fury in the movies. So I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. And then what does Nick say to Iron Man? Tony gets him in the Winchell's Donuts there, and he says, I'm starting the Avengers Initiative. I was like, no shit. So there's gonna be more shit going on here. Then they bring the next movie out. Then they bring Thor out. Guardians of the Galaxy, and all of a sudden, all this shit, they're all interacting. These movies are interlinking. There's comic pages at the end of the movie. They incorporate shit from the comics into the movies. Like all the way at the end of the last page, the last moment in the movie, you flip it over, and you get a little preview of the next comic to suck you into the next movie. Like, that's fucking genius. That's what they've been doing for 50 years. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby came up with. Like they're fucking using exactly what they should be doing. They read the comic books, and they're doing what should be done. And lo and behold, what did Marvel Studios do? They had a fucking huge hit. Boom. Suddenly, they were the big fucking deal out there. And they got bought up by Disney. And now Marvel Studios, part of Disney, part of the evil empire, which is the Walt Disney Empire, which has Star Wars, now has Fox, has Marvel. Basically owns everything in the world that you're going to watch. But anyhow, beyond that, Marvel Studios does exist by itself, and Marvel Studios is a huge thing with all these superheroes now. And what are they doing? They're fucking like Philip J. Fry in a goddamn Futurama. Take my money, please. And movies are fucking awesome. Just got back from Infinity War, and it's everything that you thought it would be, just like that. And those of you who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about right there. It was awesome all the way to the end. Favorite part of the movie for me was after I waited for 10 minutes in the credits, all the way at the end, there he was. And of course, what was he doing? At the end there, what did he do with that? And then he went ahead and he had to go and it was fucking amazing because next is going to be the coolest shit ever because you're going to have, and they're just going to be fucking shit up. And I can't wait to see how Ant-Man and the Wasp figure into all this bullshit with their quantum fucking realm and whatnot. But it's going to be really great. Did you guys see the spoilers on that? Can you read lips? Fuck you. Anyway, Infinity War was fan-fucking-tastic. And if you don't like superhero movies, like a lot of the older directors now, like you got Steven Spielberg's like, I don't fucking understand this. I'm doing Avatar 15, 16, 17, 18. I was like, you should have done Avatar like 2 years after Avatar came out, bro. James Cameron's like, I don't quite get it. We're starting the Terminator franchise again. It's like, guys, you guys brought it to that point. But it's over, man. Like, you're done. Like, sit back. Let these young dudes do their shit, man. They got this shit down. The dude just did the Thor movie with Takiti, the dude who did the, what was the movie in that movie, Miss Blake? The movie about the vampires that you like so much. Are you freezing on camera? It was it was the movie that we watched with the comedic vampires, and they were What We Do in the Shadows. Oh yes. When I found out he was doing that Thor movie, I'm like, oh, they understand, like they get it. It's just like comic books, the same thing. You have different creators on different comic books who bring a style to the fucking character, and now you do the same thing with the movies. Holy shit. I'm not going to say it's genius, but it was probably somebody who wasn't like 85,000 years old, was only worried about getting his dick sucked by some friggin' expensive hookers, which, is most studio executives and producers. That's all they give a shit about. They're not actually paying attention to the creative process. So finally, somebody said, we should probably do this shit, and there it is. And here we are now, and we are in the Renaissance, of superhero movies. This is so much better than when I was a kid. I used to have to watch the cartoons on TV. That was the closest I could get to this kind of shit, man. To see the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, Spider-Man all jumble together and do their thing. Now, DC's got to get their shit together because DC's falling way behind. In the comic book world right now, DC is kicking ass. They got a fucking awesome shit going on. If you're reading the DC comics, you know they're good, man. It's fun. I love reading DC comics a little more than reading Marvel comics. Watching DC movies, I can handle it, but ooh, it's just a little bit painful. And you know what the weird part about it is? The weird part about me watching DC movies right now, is Ben Affleck. Because I remember vividly when I was looking at Christine, I said, Christine, Ben Affleck's going to be Batman in the DC universe. And she looked at me and I looked at her and I was like, oh, that's going to suck. and I said, you know what? Kevin Smith, though, he believes in Ben Affleck as Batman. I was like, yeah, I'm willing to give this shit a shot, man. If Kevin Smith says it's fucking going to be good. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it will be good. So I was like, all right, Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman. And I saw some Ben Affleck as Batman. I was like, God damn, the motherfucker, he's like Batman. Like he got a little bit of humor. Looks like Batman. He's got the jawline, of course. And he was. Then I watched Batman versus Superman. Little flaky. Like the directors on these DC movies, man, they just don't quite get comic books the way that they should be had, man. It's just not quite the same. But Ben Affleck as fucking Batman was balls on. To me, personally, I thought he was fan-fucking-tastic. Tim Burton's movies with all the actors that before him, no, this guy was Batman. Everybody liked Christopher Nolan's Batman movies. I was like, I don't get it. You know why I don't like Christopher Nolan Batman movies? Say it with me. Batman exists all by himself in their own little Christopher Nolan fucking universe. It doesn't work, man. It doesn't fucking work. Batman by himself, you can make him the greatest character, you can be the greatest director. Batman's by himself in this universe here. Fuck this, is stupid. Because he's a fucking weirdo. The fucking military would come in, they would kill him, they go, we got the vigilante psychopath off the fucking streets. Batman with Superman and Wonder Woman and fucking Cyborg and the Flash. And it makes sense. It's like, well, this shit goes on. This world is where the universe is, where shit's at. Let's get it done. The guy who plays Superman, I like the guy who plays Superman. However, and I agree with a lot of people out there, Superman's not that dark motherfucker, man. He's a happy dude. He goes out there, he makes sure he saves lives. He gets people out of the way and doesn't put people in harm's way. So I understand like the fans are flipping out on that. But the guy who plays Superman, he looks like Superman. He gets Superman pretty good. But Superman is the problem. I think there's a real problem with DC movies and Marvel movies. Marvel movies, the characters are sort of, they're grounded. They're human beings. They're actually human beings. Barring Batman, you have like Superman and Wonder Woman. These fucking people have powers that this is unbelievable. Like you know, Superman can punch planets and shit. Motherfucker, bam, knocks the fucking planet out of orbit. That's a grandiose thing. You have to have grandiose shit happening in order for these heroes to come together and do shit. And they almost did it. They almost made it happen in DC. They were like, we're gonna do the Justice League a little bit too early. Should have waited till they had like. They should have done 3 or 4 separate movies to get the Justice League together to figure out like why this shit exists in the first place. But they said, fuck it, we're going to do the Justice League because the Avengers is out. We got to make money. Because I'm sure some studio executives someplace said, we got to make this fucking movie now, man, because Marvel's kicking our ass. But I'm sure all the directors behind them going, no, man, we got to build this shit up. And they're like, no, we need to make money now. Here's a whole boatload of money. Make the fucking movie. Shit. And they pump these things out. The actress who plays Wonder Woman, fucking amazing. The effects guys are killing it. I mean, they had to redo a mustache. Man, it's fucking hard. It's hard digital effect shit, right? So they get all this together. And they get it out. I watched Justice League. Justice League was pretty good, but they're cramming too much shit in there, man. And then the whole thing with Justice League had Steppenwolf. Now nobody knows who the fuck Steppenwolf is unless you're a fucking full-on comic book fan. But Steppenwolf is part of the New Gods. He is one of Darkseid's minions. He's sort of like if you just watched Infinity War, he's Thanos's. He would be like one of Thanos' minions, the guys that were going out trying to collect the Infinity Stones for Thanos. That's who Steppenwolf is. He goes out, but nobody knows who the fuck that is. And they had the big Darkseid Omega symbol was out there in the Batman versus. But they didn't build up to this shit. They're just throwing it all out there. Here. It's like you're not quite getting it, man. You got to get somebody somewhere has got to get some people who have read the comics and can sort of translate it, take the different elements and put it all together. I mean, like the goddamn it, people. I mean, Marvel figured it out. Marvel understood that, you know. All the creators there that have been doing this shit for 45, 50 years, they basically storyboarded the fuck out of a million good stories, and we just need to pick all the little pieces and just drop it onto the screen. Those who do movies know what a fucking storyboard is, so they did it. So yes, we went and saw Infinity War, and it was fantastic, and it sucked at the same time because the ending is the ending of Infinity War, and it's the fucking ending, man. And then you got like a year wait until the next one. So I'm throwing my hat into the ring here. I'm throwing my hat into the ring because nobody knows what the next Avengers movie is going to be. Now, those who read comic books knows that there's Infinity War, but then after the Infinity War, there's the Infinity Gauntlet, which leads, I believe, to the Infinity Squadron. So you have all of these different things coming down the pike. But I know where we're going with this. We're going out in space, man, because that's where Thanos is. That's where the bigger league superheroes is. In fact, that is exactly where they're going to go with this next Avengers flick, because that's what they have to do, because you need somebody who can kick the shit out of Thanos. The only way you can kick the shit out of Thanos is you need a Superman-level fucking Superman-level hero from the Marvel Universe. And who is that? Well, we all know the answer to that because we saw it at the end of the movie, right? Yes, who is that? That's because used up and that's what happened. And I tell you what, I was like, God damn. And as we all know, when we saw at the end of the movie go, y'all know it's like that's my man right there. So yes, so the next movie is gonna be huge. So I'm looking forward to it. So Marvel, you're getting it, man. DC, you gotta step up your game. You gotta step up the game. So we got Aquaman coming out. Aquaman is coming out. I know the ladies are like, Aquaman is definitely coming out. You know, he knows how to get things wet. Right? Aquaman knows how to get things wet. So that right there, women are in like, I'm in like Flynn. Of course, there's any guys out there in the guys. I'm sure they're looking at Aquaman going, I'd sail those 7 seas. But anyway, we've also going to have another Wonder Woman movie. And shocker of shocks, like, you know, possibly maybe we should get a woman to direct Wonder Woman. That probably, and holy shit, it was popular. No shit, man. Like, you know, maybe a woman who reads comic books and understands these kinds of stories, maybe she might even be able to direct a woman in a movie about empowering women. Like, use your fucking brains, man. I know most studio executives usually use their brains, but that brain it's not the popular brain anymore out there, man. We like the one that's up here. So what else is coming out? Shazam. Shazam is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. There's a name I can say right now because of the DC universe. Captain Marvel. Shazam. So what is Shazam? This is a movie that can either be really fucking good or will be so horrible that it will shut down not only the DC Comics universe, possibly our universe by imploding it. The premise of Captain Marvel, Shazam, is thus. Shazam is a young boy named Billy Batson. And Billy Batson was a newspaper boy back in the 40s. This is the early stuff. I don't know what he is now. Maybe he'll be some kind of digital web guy or something. Who the fuck knows what they're going to do with this kid? But anyhow, William Batson, goes down into this little cave area, and he meets this wizard. And the wizard says, you're a pure of heart and all this other bullshit. And he imbues Billy Batson with the powers of Solomon, Hercules, and was it 4 other gods. Has all these powers. It spells out Shazam. That's where he starts. Solomon, Hercules, blah, 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 blah. So when he says, Shazam! Lightning bolt comes out of the sky, boom. He turns a little kid, little boy, he's not a little boy, he's like, 12, 13-year-old kid, into a full-blown adult with the powers of Superman. Now, his powers are slightly better than Superman. Why? Because they're magical. Magical fucking powers. All these powers are magical, but I don't fucking understand what you're talking about. This shit doesn't exist. You gotta lean with me. You gotta lean into it. Superman has a couple of weaknesses. You all know kryptonite, the green shit, that if you stick it in Superman's face, he's like, I'm going to fucking die. Oh, get the kryptonite away from me. Also, if you are magically powered, you're able to beat the shit out of Superman as well. So Superman, this guy's on the level of Superman power-wise, but he's also magical, so he could actually kick Superman's ass, but he's a good guy, so he doesn't kick Superman's ass. But anyway, he gets these powers, and if it was Marvel doing this movie, it would be fucking hilarious, because in this guy's comic book universe, where he exists. He now exists with in the regular DC universe, but his villains, one of them was Dr. Savannah. Dr. Savannah was this little short, bespectacled dude with a bald head, and he would wander around doing all this shit to fuck with Shazam, Captain Marvel, Billy Batson. And what do you have around his neck? A talking fucking worm. No bullshit, man. Little fucking talking worm. I think it was Dr. Savannah. But there's a little fucking talking worm. And the fucking talking worm would fuck this guy up all the time. Then he had a talking tiger, Tawny the talking tiger. And that's actually a buddy of his. But his rogues gallery of villains was fucking hilarious, man. But it was a goofy, funny, comical kid, comic book. And Billy Batson, Captain Marvel got his powers, but he could also somehow, and I forget, man, so many goddamn comic books I've read over the years. Billy Batson was able to imbue his buddies, his pals, with parts of the power that he had. So he had Captain Marvel, which was Shazam, which is Billy Batson. And then you had Ms. Marvel, because it was a teenage woman, a teenage girl. Then you had another kid who wore a blue uniform who also was paralyzed, but he would say Shazam, and he would get the powers. And they were a superhero little group of kids who were imbued with superpowers. And it was pretty cool. I used to read it all the time. I think I have Shazam #1 from the 70s as well. But anyway, that's Shazam. So as you can see, there's a lot of weird, funky shit going on. You got a kid in a man's body. So we all remember that are my old motherfuckers like me, can barely walk anymore, remember Tom Hanks in Big. Tom Hanks went to the wish machine, goes, I want to be big. And he got big, and it was funny, and he was doing the piano shit and all that stuff. So imagine like if you had a kid, and you put him into a superhero's body, and now he's going off and doing this thing. Now this could really be funny, because if you took Shazam, a kid in an adult's body, then now you have a kid in an adult's body, you stick him into the DC universe, and now he does his thing, his movies, man. And next thing you know, we need somebody super powerful because Superman has gotten taken down. The only way to get somebody back is we need somebody with superpowers, and he's got magic in him. We'll get Shazam over. But now Shazam is a 13-year-old boy in a man's body, and who's he going to be hanging out with? He's going to be hanging out with people like Wonder Woman. Now there are some jokes there that I don't even want to talk about because this is all ages audience right now. But anyhow, imagine a 13-year-old boy, man's body, poof, chilling with Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, that's that right there. There's so much comedy that could be written, and Marvel Studios would be like, holy shit, man, this could be just a comedy movie. We shouldn't even do this as a serious flick. But hopefully DC will learn from their mistakes in the past, and they will do this movie properly. Now I know the guy who's playing Shazam. What's up? I get it. I know what you're saying. Brittles. But anyway, the guy who's playing Shazam. To wrap this up, we're gonna wrap this up with Shazam. The guy who's playing Shazam is the guy. The head dude not the head dude from The Office. I'm sorry. The salesman from The Office, the younger dude, is playing Shazam. He's gonna play the character Shazam. They're gonna buff him up a little bit, make him a little bigger. And I was like, this is just like Ben Affleck, where I'm like, I know the dude was funny. I liked him in The Office, but I'm like, he doesn't look. He's not built like Shazam. But I'm like, again, you got to have somebody. You got to have the thing here. The trick to the Shazam is it's a kid in a man's body. Kid in a man's body. And this dude, he embodies a kid in a man's body. He's sort of funny, sort of goofy. He's going to do stupid shit. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to think, I want to punch this dude. Oop, I punched him through a fucking building, a hospital ward. I got to say everybody in the hospital ward now. So hopefully with this dude playing the adult Shazam and the young dude they got playing Billy Batson, this shit will be funny. And I'm looking forward to it because it was another comic book I really enjoyed as a kid. And if they don't fuck this up, it's a notch in DC's belt. They'll be moving up the ladder. So we got ourselves some Shazam coming up. We got ourselves some Ant-Man and the Wasp shrinking our way in the fall. We got some Brie Larson coming out as Captain Marvel. Different Captain Marvel. It's a woman Captain Marvel. Strangely enough, in the Marvel universe, Captain Marvel was a guy. Then he was also a woman. It's very convoluted. It's very hard to take. So that's why people just go to the movies. Don't read the comics. They take a lot of intellect. How'd you get so smart? I read comic books because they're so goddamn convoluted. You need a PhD to understand what the fuck is going on from one panel to the next. So it's like life, man. Life, it's very convoluted. It's very convoluted. You get up every day. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen that day. It could be like a fantastic day or it could be a fucked up mess. But today was a good day, as Christine will attest to, because today we went and saw Infinity War, and Infinity War was fantastic. So I recommend everybody go out and see some Infinity War, and praise be to the head chiefs at Marvel Comics, man, for making all the childhood stuff that I saw as a kid, making the thing I keep screaming at people when I was a young man. Just put the fucking characters in the movie together and give the banter to him, and then let this shit fly, and it's going to be a hit. And here we are. We're in the Marvel age of movies. All right, we'll see you next week on Britty and the Brew Mistress, where we come back with Pug-a-Palooza, and we see how Beanie fucks up the whole day. Beanie, you got anything to say about that? For my
Cut,
video
cut.
technician is...
That's horrible. That's horrible. Get off the stage. Get off the... Does anybody have one of those big long hooks that they used to yank people off the stage with? Can we get that here, please? Can we get... Just turn the camera off. Good night, folks.